What's up, fellow hunters? Coming to you from my garage in early July, and by the time you watch this video, I'll have already put together over 100 haunt panels for our friends at the Halloween Maze here in Las Vegas. My goal with this video is to show you how I do it based off what I've learned from a lot of you, and hopefully some tips and techniques that will make your panel building experience a heck of a lot easier than mine's about to be. Let's cue the voiceover and videos. Alright, let's jump right in with a quick overview of the materials and supplies necessary to construct 4x8 foot haunt panels the way I do them. As you can see, all of these are sitting on top of a 7/16 OSB board. In the back there, we've got our standard 2x4x8, 317s for any Home Depot alumni. Drill and driver, some bits, I'll go over those in a few. Your wood glue, screws, and then 1/4-20s is my chosen method of attachment. Got 3 main jigs here and 1 jig that's all sitting on. We'll see that during the dry fitting phase. Your rail jig for your side rails. Your rib jig for the top, middle, and bottom. These each have 3 through holes for either staking at the bottom, support on top, and or to hang accessories or lighting from. And then the OSB jig goes around the perimeter of the top face of the OSB. That's what I use to locate the holes to countersink for the 1-inch drywall screws. The bits I use, 5/16 for all my through holes, your deep countersink for your rails, your smaller countersink for the OSB. Add in a whole bunch of wood, some time, and you'll end up with a 4x8 foot haunt panel. Alright, fellow hunters, it's voiceover narration time. As you watch us put together these panels for you, I want to break this down into 3 sections: do's, don'ts, and tips, tricks, and techniques. First off, with do's, make your jigs. When you get that first stack of lumber, before you start trying to drill anything or putting it together, set up your jig so that everything is the same for every component in the panel. It took me about a good day or so to figure out where I wanted to do everything in relation with these jigs and these finished panels, and I'm telling you, it paid off, because if you look at the stack later in this shot, you'll see that they're all exactly the same. Second, your hardware. Use wood glue whenever and wherever possible. It makes for a much stronger joint and connection. Panels will last a lot longer. And don't skimp on your hardware. Get your screw count on the front end. Nothing worse than getting halfway through a stack and putting it together and you gotta go run to the store to get more hardware. Last but not least for do's, get help. You can see all the help I had with these panels in this video. I had a lot more too. Nobody can do this alone, and if you do, your hands are going to hate you. Next up, don'ts. Don't cut any corners. Take the time to do it right. Use your jigs, use your clamps, check and double check everything. Try to get everything as straight and as square as possible. It helps. Along those lines, when you're done with your panels and they're drying, make sure you flat stack them. The weight from the panels themselves at about 80 pounds a pop is going to allow everything to compress for stronger joints, and you're not going to get any out of square corners or angles if you would have been just leaning these up against the wall somewhere. And last but not least, don't rush the process. I know in these time-lapse videos it looks like things go quickly, but each one of these panels takes about 8 to 15 minutes to assemble and stack, and almost an hour total when you include all the pre-drilling time with all the jigs. Last up, tips, tricks, and techniques. Number 1 tip, get your lumber early or late from your big box stores. Both Home Depot and Lowe's either replace their lumber first thing in the morning overnight, or they're going to flat stack it late at night for you, so it's a lot easier to get better quality wood. Try to only stick to about 20 panels at a time. That's going to give you an 8-foot stack. It should fit inside most garages. Anything more than that, your tools are going to be worn out, and so are you. Last but not least, your connection hardware. I prefer to use 1/4-20 bolts and wing nuts like we do in the trade show industry. It allows everything to be a lot more modular. You can keep your hardware with your panels in those holes in any of your rib sections. It also allows a lot less repair time when every other year you're having to replace rails because you've splintered and cracked them as you go to screw in every single panel to each other. Just something we like to do at ORHH Haunted House, and I suggest you do it for your panels as well.
All right, that's a wrap, everybody. We're at the end of the haunt panel tutorial video. I hope everything that you saw and that we talked about in the voiceover helps you put together panels like these guys behind me. They are 80 pounds a piece, but I use templates and jigs, so it makes everything interchangeable and flexible, as well as allows for any repair if there's any kind of damage to be done with minimal effort and materials. Big shout out to our friends at the Halloween Maze for asking us to put these together. Please make sure you visit them and support them if you're in Vegas for Halloween this year. All their social links will be in the YouTube description and on our Instagram page. If you have any questions about any specific item in this tutorial, hit me up in the comments or on Instagram, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through. As always, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video because we got more of these coming.